We're going inside the toy box with Elemental, so let's get cracking! Hello, my explorers, and welcome back to Loren's Adventures Out There. And if you're new, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. My name is Loren, and I'm with Castles, Capes, and Clones, where we discuss everything in the Disney universe. We talk Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, The Muppets, 20th Century, National Geographic, Disney Plus, ABC, Hulu, and more. If it's about Disney, we're talking about it. So if you like that kind of content, we'd love it if you would subscribe to our channel, hit the bell for notifications, and do like this post, as it really does help us out. So before we started today's video, we once again wanted to remind you that without the labor of writers and actors, we wouldn't have the Disney content like Elemental, which we're doing a deep dive into today. So we support the strikes of the WGA and SAG-AFTRA. Well, I can't believe it, but we have come to the last film in our series, Inside the Toy Box, which is our look at the films of Pixar Animation Studios in chronological order. We started with Toy Story, and now we are ending with 2023's Elemental. Elemental is a sweet romantic comedy set in the fictional Element City, a place where air, earth, water, and fire coexist. Brought together by unlikely circumstances, the fiery Ember and go-with-the-flow Wade begin to fall in love. Ember, however, is afraid of disappointing her parents, which threatens the young couple's burgeoning relationship. Director Peter Sohn was invited to pitch a story which he based on his own life as a child of immigrants. His idea stemmed from a table of elements which he always saw as apartments in his childhood. They decided to simplify the elements into the four basic elements and pondered what would happen if water and fire fell in love with each other. Sohn said, quote, "My parents emigrated from Korea in the early 1970s and built a bustling grocery store in the Bronx." He also said, "We were among many families who ventured to a new land with hopes and dreams, all of us mixing into one big salad bowl of cultures, languages, and beautiful little neighborhoods. That's what led me to Elemental." And he said, "This movie is about thanking your parents and understanding their sacrifices. My parents both passed away during the making of this thing, and so it is hugely emotional, and I'm still processing a lot of it." Developing a relationship between water and fire, they had to look at what characteristics these elements had. Sohn said, "People can see fire as a temper. People can see it as a passion. As a practical thing, fire burns and sparks. But what does it mean to burn bright? There are also all these ingredients to what we already perceive as fire, and then started to form Ember's personality. It's the same thing for Wade. Water can be transparent. What does that mean? He wears his emotions on his sleeve. He goes with the flow. That helped form the personalities that were already pretty opposite, and then we had to find that Venn diagram of where they overlapped. That's the hopeful magic. I hope people can buy into the sparks, the chemical reaction that could form a relationship. Creative consultant Brenda Sue was hired to write the screenplay along with John Hoberg and Kat Lickau. Sohn, Holberg, and Likel, and Sue received a story by credit. Sohn cited romantic comedies like Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, Moonstruck, You've Got Mail, Amelie, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, and The Big Sick as particular influences for the rom-com elements on the story. David J. Peterson, who developed languages for Game of Thrones, came up with Firish, which Ember's family speaks. During the 2022 D23 Expo, it was announced that Leah Lewis and Amadou Athie were to play Amber and Wade, respectively. Sohn enjoyed Lewis's performance in the 2020 film The Half of It, where she displayed both temper and vulnerability. Athie was chosen after Sohn saw him in the 2019 miniseries Oh Jerome No, and listening to his ability to cry. Sohn said Amadou has such a compassionate soul that when he was crying, you just went with him in it. After the full-length trailer was released, more cast members, including Ronnie Del Carmen, Sheila Omni, Wendy McClendon-Covey, Catherine O'Hara, Mason Wertheimer, and Joe Pera were announced. Element City was modeled after New York as a series of immigrant neighborhoods. They also looked at cities like Venice and Amsterdam for inspiration. But due to COVID, the crew had to watch point of view city tours on YouTube to get inspiration. Originally, the film ended with Wade and Ember having a baby made of steam, but ultimately it was excised so as to give audiences something to look forward to in future installments. Thomas Newman was brought on to score the film, his fourth collaboration with the studio. Love performed the original song, Steal the Show, which plays during Ember and Wade's date, as well as the end credits. Elemental grossed $444,517,283 worldwide to date. While originally seen as a box office flop, being Pixar's lowest opening weekend, the film, through word of mouth and other factors, gained legs. Pixar president Jim Morris said, "At the box office, we're looking at now, the film should do better than break even theatrically. And then we have the revenue from streaming, theme parks, and consumer products. This will certainly be a profitable film for the Disney company." Critically, the film scored 74% on Rotten Tomatoes, with critical consensus stating, "Elemental may not satisfy as fully as the greatest Pixar pictures, but it remains a solid story with dazzling visual flair." So, what do I think of Elemental? Anybody who watches this channel as of late know that I am obsessed with this movie. I just love the romance between Ember and Wade. I just think that they are such a cute couple. I don't, romantic comedies aren't meant to be super, great movies. Like, it's never going to be like a Citizen Kane. But they're enjoyable and they're fun and they make you want to fall in love. And that's exactly what this film did for me. I thought that Leah Lewis and Amadou Athie, their performances were amazing. And I'm glad that they didn't pick two major stars, not to cut down who Lewis and Athie are, but not like from the A list. I think that it was nice to have a couple of young actors and young people of color Um, Lewis being Asian American and Athy being African American. I think that that also helped in terms of shaping the characters and who they are in the movie, in terms of an immigrant story, in terms of opposites attract, in terms of all of this. Just such a sweet movie. And the visuals are amazing. Like every time I watch, the fire people and their faces just kind of moving all over the place, and same with the kind of fluidity of the water people. I would have loved to have seen more of the air people and the earth people, but this film was about water and fire and how if they could fall in love, and I believe that they proved that water and fire could fall in love. Anyway, did you watch Elemental? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments below. So I can't believe that we have gone through two series already on Disney animation in general. We had 0 to 60, which looked at the first 60 films of Walt Disney Animation Studios, and then we threw in Stranger Things and have built another series to include those moving forward. And then we have now that's inside the Toybox, which is our look at the films of Pixar Animation Studios. We've ended here with Elemental, but we will again revisit the series with Elio next year. And I put up a post on our community page asking people where they thought we should go next. Should we do a curated list of live action Walt Disney pictures? Should we do the Skywalker saga from Star Wars or the Infinity Saga from Marvel Cinematic Universe? And the votes came in, and the majority want a curated list of live action pictures. So we will be doing that starting maybe in a couple of weeks. I think I would like to take a little break after this, but who knows? Maybe I won't. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed yourself, and if you did, we'd love it if you would subscribe to our channel, hit the bell for notification, and do like this post, as it really does help us out. Visit us on all of our socials down below. Visit our website at www.castlescapesandclones.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you later. Bye!